Hi, it's Trey Griggs with Obsidian Wisdom. On today's Wisdom Wednesday, we will talk about the proverb, all hard work brings a profit, but mere talk leads only to poverty. Most entrepreneurs and families worry about money, so we created the Wisdometric framework to help you eradicate financial stress, generate a passive income, and build a prosperous retirement strategy. When it comes to all hard work, let's talk about a professional athlete. And I think that it makes the most sense because it's something that we've all are familiar with, we understand in some way, shape, or form. If you've played sports, especially if you've known or been around someone, right? You guys are familiar. I played baseball at college at Florida State. And so I've been with people who have been drafted and I've seen the hard work that they go through. And we understand that everybody doesn't get drafted. But at the same time, when you say all hard work brings a profit, the profit isn't always financial. And what I mean is, if you build a work ethic of understanding that if I put work in, it pays off in some way, shape, or form. If I work out, I get leaner, I get toner, I get stronger. If I run, my cardio increases, I breathe better, and I'm able to see results where I could only run a lap and then you can run two and then three and then a mile and then a marathon where you can see some of these results. When it comes to hard work bringing a profit, what we're saying is hard work is going to give you a benefit. Whether that benefit is exactly as you drew it up, and in a case of a professional athlete, you worked hard from childhood when you were introduced to the sport, where you played the baseball or football or basketball or something, you played it on a regular basis. You made sacrifices where you didn't hang out, you made sure you ate the right things, you didn't play a lot, you sacrificed your time on your weekends and devoted it to your craft and your sport, and it gave you the opportunity to be in the top echelon of your career. And that gave you an opportunity to go and play at a D1 school or college in general. And maybe they had paid for your education, all because of the hard work you put in on your craft. And if you're in the special group outside, then you're going to say, okay, from there, I was able to get drafted and I was able to achieve a childhood dream where I get paid to play a sport I love, millions of dollars. And then if you're like Michael Jordan, that gives you different avenues to where you're able to own a basketball team and now you're a part of it still. Now that doesn't happen to everyone. It doesn't happen exactly like that. Some of us, it's going to work out where maybe you built certain relationships from working out, where you have benefits there. Maybe you met your business partner on certain teams. Maybe playing on the team, it gave you the opportunity to see a way to make the sport better, where you're able to start your own company or your own innovation of some kind, where through your hard work, it gave you an opportunity that you wouldn't have had otherwise. And in that sense, hard work does always profit you. We're not always talking about in the sense that, well, I played my sport, I was an All American, and then I got drafted and now I make hundreds of millions of dollars. Right? That's fine. But also, sometimes you build relationships that benefit you and can provide you immense pleasure and gratitude and opportunities. Sometimes the opportunity is so indirect that it really just shocks you, where it just simply puts you in a certain city where a certain thing worked out for you. I'm definitely someone who believes that if you put the work in, that an opportunity will show itself. Whether that opportunity is exactly as you drew it up, or whether it's something that you weren't exactly thinking about, but if you were sitting at home watching TV, it would not have happened for you. And then that leads you into the second half where it says, but mere talk leads only to poverty. In that sense, we often know people who have all the potential in the world that are able to come up with great solutions on the spot, that they're able to offer help and assistance in a way where it just always seems to make sense when they explain it to you. But those people spend too much time talking, whether that talking is because they're always analyzing things and they're uncomfortable with taking action, whether they need to know so much before they take action, they need a certain amount of certainty, or whether or not they're just are fearful, whether they're afraid of failure, whether they're afraid of success, whatever, for whatever reason, their talk doesn't ever turn into action. And if it does, they take just a little bit of action. And as a result, you take a little bit of action, you get a little bit of a result. And then ultimately, like, see, that reaffirmed what I was thinking, where if I went for it, it wasn't going to work for me. There's some reason in society whether things are they're unfair, whether your childhood or my family or your race, whatever it is, where things are more difficult for me. And it doesn't mean that it's not true. There are many reasons that things can be easier for someone and more difficult for someone else. But what is also true is if you put in the work, you will profit. You will get some sort of benefit. And that more times than not, when things are their most difficult, if you're able to push through that, just the transformation inside of who you are as a person is more than a benefit of its own, where it's something that's going to help you for years, decades to come, something that you're going to be able to pass on to your children and your future generations, where it's going to transform the way that they even engage and interact with the world. Oftentimes we don't think about it, but if we don't solve the problem within ourselves, then we end up teaching it to our kids, whether through our actions and how we spend our time, or whether it's directly just by the way we speak about things. And if you don't want your kids to have the same problems and challenges that you have to work on the solution. Whether now, as far as you can get in that solution, that's as far as you can go. I mean, you do what you can do, and you can't do any more than that. But the benefit will still be there for your kids where they know that you are working on something and it will still be profitable for them. And so the main takeaway from this proverb is if you know something, if you know better, do better. If you are able to conceptually talk and think about something, then you should take some sort of action towards that. And even if the smallest action at the beginning maybe doesn't give you the immediate return that you were hoping for, it doesn't mean that you should give up and go back to the way things were. It means that you should keep going and allow things to manifest and keep producing and kind of building up for you. And so you want to kind of keep that in mind. If you are someone who needs additional help with retirement planning, I encourage you to check out my free retirement planning video workshop. And that is at obsidianwisdom.com/training. In it, I give you the entire wisdometric framework that I use with my clients to help them eradicate financial stress, generate a passive income, and build a prosperous retirement strategy. I'd love to hear your thoughts about our proverb of the day that all hard work brings a profit, but mere talk leads only to poverty. Has there ever been a time in your life where hard work gave you some sort of a benefit? And maybe it wasn't exactly the benefit that you thought it was, but a benefit nonetheless. I'd love to hear about that in the comments. And if you've known anyone that seems like they have the ability to make so much great things in this world, if you need encouragement or you want to shoot this video over to them and their thoughts, that'd be great as well. I look forward to hearing from you, and I'm always thankful for our time together. And until next time, Wisdomites, remember, wisdom is asking the right questions to allow yourself to get the right answers. Keep asking those questions, and you will keep getting those answers. Continue blessings.